Hello everyone, I'm Silverraptor and welcome to another Wargame Red Dragon deck commentary where now, since this is a double nation expansion pack, we will be covering Finland, and we is Marin, my helper from the Yugoslavia nation who provided all the translations and laughed at me as I tried to do it in the process. Hello Marin!
Hello.
So, we'll try to speed this up a little bit quickly because I don't think you speak Finnish, so we'll just start this off in the logistics tab.
No problem.
All right, so we're going to skip the fob because everyone has it. So the first supply vehicle I got was the SA-150 KPI, due to the fact that it's the largest vehicle supply that they have. Though the helicopters do have more, these things can move about quickly and just provide the supply that you'll need. Actually, I might swap that out with the helicopter. Yeah, I'm actually going to swap that out with the helicopter, so ignore that reverse bit. I got the MI-8P KPI as my helicopter supply vehicle. And these things have 1,500 liters, which I didn't notice is the most liters that the ground unit has. Usually that's not usually the case, but these are going to be like the mini fobs and everything that I have for the front lines. And then for the other supply vehicle, I actually got the Terra 865BM KPI, and the reason why I got these, even though they're 10 points, only a 500 liter supply, is they are amphibious, and that is actually very, very beneficial, especially if someone's watching or has control over a bridge, but you have troops across the river on the other side that need supplies. These things can still get to them and resupply them quite quickly. And with the fact that I can move mini fobs up pretty close for them to resupply, I'd be able to just micro them back and forth quite well to keep them all supplied. So what about you?
Well, for me, I only have one supply vehicle, and that's gonna be the one that you to replace the SA-150 KPI.
All right.
In this deck, I didn't brought any helicopter supply just because of I wanted to have some variety. Very good supply. I mean,
okay supply.
For 5 points, if you compare it to Terra, get far more supplies.
Yeah.
Good off-road speed, and that's pretty much all I have to say about supply. I mean, nothing special there.
Yeah. Like I said, I got the Terra just because it's amphibious as well. All right, time for CVs. And the first CV I got was the BMP 1K Copa. And I got that because it's amphibious, it's pretty good autonomy, and it can kind of defend itself. I'm not going to run this into enemy front lines, but if enemy infantry try to sneak up on it and it sees it, is able to turn and shoot and be able to get a few rounds off to protect itself before it's taken out. Though I could make an argument for the KA-180 vehicle as well. Actually, I'm actually looking at this and I'm going to replace it again.
Only again and again.
Yep, well, the XA-180 Copa is what I got instead now.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna replace again. It actually looks pretty damn great. So, if people can remember my strategy from the last video, I use the tactics, no tanks as a logistic.
Right.
I decided to change that logic. So I have T-55A Copa as my 120 armored logistic. As my non-armored variant of logistic, I got the Gas 69 Copa. And for the infantry, I got the... Oh my god, I'm gonna butcher it. Commander Jokwe in the BTR 60 PB variant.
Okay, so you've got 3 CVs?
Yes.
That's a lot of... That's... Okay, I'm counting right now. And that is a total... Alright, for the tank, did you get hardened or veteran?
Hardened.
Oh god, so you actually got 15 command vehicles in this deck. That's a little excessive.
Well, tell you the truth, when it comes to logistics, I'm very uncareful, and it comes to at times in most games that I actually run out of any logistical support in the means of the command vehicles. So having a hell of a lot of command vehicles for me, believe me, for pros and veterans is definitely not useful. But for me, it's absolutely necessary.
Okay, I'm just worried you're spending a lot of points on capturing sectors and not a lot of securing those sectors. But hey, if you want 3...
Don't worry, we still have a lot of sections to go through.
All right, all right. I did get infantry as well. I got the Commento Jokwe in Super Pumas. Same logic. If I capture a sector, I would like to bring these guys up quickly into Super Pumas, which are 300 kilometers speed, and just capture that sector quickly to start bringing supply points in for my team.
Definitely. Good choice. Again, I done my logic on not to go with helicopters, but
Right.
hey, you got the experiment, right?
Right. All right. So infantry.
Do you have
time.
anything else?
Nope. That's just all for my logistics.
Okay, infantry.
Yep. First thing I got were the Keratin Yakari, which is the light rifleman squad, and they've got 16 AP power for their laws with 20 rounds per minute, so they're pretty decent. At least they're able to take out APCs pretty quickly. With 30% accuracy and 30% stabilizer for their main gun, this is going to be my assault infantry, especially since they come in 15-man squads. They're going to storm the front lines, take fire, but try to secure a position. And I have them backed up with the XA-180 Musty, which has a recoilless rifle on the top of it to help back them up. So definitely...
Very strange vehicle.
Yep, but definitely, I think, very
But
good
effective.
for assaulting. Yep. And then... the other infantry I have are the Panzerjäger 90s, which are the shock train, 25 point. They've got the 50% accuracy, 23 AP power, 20 rounds per minute RPG, and they are also very good at holding the line. They've got higher accuracy than their stabilizers, so these are going to be mainly my defenders of a sector, as well as taking out tanks at close range. Those are actually all of my infantry in terms of regular light machine gun fire infantry, because the next I actually have fire support. I have the Raskasernokoi. I'm not even going to bother. I'm just going to call them the Raska fire support 15-point squad. They've also got a recoilless rifle, but it's HE power as well as AP power. So, and they come in 19. I could bring 19 of these guys in, so they're going to definitely help me out in at least fire support and keeping enemies away from different villages and sectors. For AA, I got the Ito 86M, which is the Igla N missile, better upgraded variant than the Igla that Yugoslavia infantry could bring in. So that's I got them in the XA 185 KT because it has an autocannon, and autocannons are pretty good. And finally, I got the PST OHJ 94s in spike missiles, that the same ATGM that the Israelis Maglins have, and this will definitely be able to quickly take out any kind of tanks at range. And that's my infantry tab.
Well, very good choice. For my experience. On my end, I didn't have any light infantry. All of my regular infantry is coming from the rifle, so no reserve or no light. So on my end, I have also Panzerjäger 90 in the XA-180 transport, which is a decent transport. I mean, machine gun for protection. Yeah, it's pretty damn fast. So it is gonna be, for me, not really a lot of talk to. They have a freaking very good AT guns. AT guns. So nothing real to worry about there. So next on, I have the fire support also. Rescancy Reskasin Kyorhama.
Much better than me.
Thank you. In the XA180 transport instead of the KT version that you bought. Actually, I think I'm gonna have to swap that because for the 5-point, you actually do get definitely a freaking good gun. So I might have to swap that out.
No one says you can't.
So I I'll get an KT version also. Now for the commando, I got an Rain Kojakris, or how you pronounce that also, in the KT versions, very good with the Raika as the AT launcher. RK62, very good rifle, and then of course the meanings for the close combat, very good as the special forces. Anti-tank is going to be PST OHJ94 in the XA 185 KT. God damn it. In the KT transport, again, absolutely better than the 82N version of the AT. It has a tripod and it's more stabilized, of course, and definitely a better accuracy and better power. So my go-to. So then for the AA, I have the Aito 86A M in the XA 180 transport. Again, definitely an improved version of anti-air, and it's worth 15 points more, for at least for me.
All right. Nice. That's definitely a good infantry tab as well. You're obviously a little more focused on the special forces version. I got the light riflemen and the regular infantry because I get more of them. So it kind of supplements the fact that I only have 2 frontline infantry squads and the rest is kind of support. But yep, that's still pretty good. All right. Support tab.
Yep.
All right. First thing I got was the Ito 96 for anti-plane dedicated. They are radar. They're basically the Bucks, so pretty standard from the Soviet Union. Not much to cover about them. What I did get on top of that was the Ito 90, which is a very fast transport, 90 points, but you can bring in. They have 8 Crotal missiles with 3,325 meter range. And these things definitely can take out helicopters, and I got 2 cards of them at train, so I have a lot. And looking at that, I'm finally realizing that I actually have plenty of AA, because I did have the Sergei mod, basically as a gun support, but I'm starting to think that's overkill, so I'm going to look for something else to replace that with while you tell me your AA.
Well, on my end, I'm far more concentrated on the ground support, on the support tab, than the actual anti-air support. So for me, I have the ITPSV Marksman as my anti-air gun. 35mm, good, very good accuracy for a gun. Radar rounds, stabilizer is okay, rate of fire excellent, 60 points, nothing to worry about there. And I got ITO 79. I didn't get the 96 just because because of the points. 85 is a little over expensive for me, even though it probably is worth it. But on this side, I'm a little bit more concentrating on point saving and saving for some other units. On the ground support, part, I have the Talaker 84 as my mortar. Brilliant rate of fire, accuracy. I mean, what can you expect from a mortar? Definitely not something brilliant, but definitely good. And I got the Rock 91 120 point artillery with a freaking good range and ability, good range dispersion, and a hell of a lot good HI power.
HE power, yeah. That's meant for just hitting an area just before you do a major advance, stun up the targets. before you to go and try to kill stuff. So that I just got that right now. I also got the Teleka 84 for my mortar, and that's mainly for smoke, but also because
You
it has
copying me?
Nope, I had that mortar before you said it.
But how about rock? Did you get the rock now?
I picked
or
it before you mentioned it. I picked it before you mentioned it.
You better be right.
I've got the video to prove it. All right, let's go to the tanks then.
Okay.
First off, we're going to start off with the T-72 M1 MOD, or as Val likes to call it, the mod. And it's definitely a modified T-72 variant. As you can see, they slapped on lots of extra armor plating and reactionary armor all over it to increase its protection power to 21 front armor. It's got, one thing I've got to say about Finland is they definitely focused on firepower over protection. As you'll see in later tanks, it's got 70% accuracy with 23 AP power. So even for a 165 point tank, this is definitely worth it for the sheer accuracy of it all. After that, because that's my super heavy, my regular heavy tank is the T-72 M1 PAIV. It's got only 14 front armor, but it's still got the same gun that the mod has at 70% accuracy and 23 AP power. So that's the huge gun on a little more flimsy tank, but it's definitely, they might be focused on glass cannons, but it's still a huge cannon that's coming out of that end. I then have the T-72 M1 to follow it up. A little more modest. This is my pure medium tank with 75 points. Its gun is a little less accurate, but it's got the same protection as the 120 point, so it's worth it in terms of points of firepower and protection. I then also have the T-55M as my supporting fire medium light tank due to the fact that it's got 70% accuracy for a 50-point tank and a 17 AP power. Yes, it only has 7 front armor and will probably die if anyone looks at it, but it will still do a lot of damage if it gets the first shot off because it's going to probably hit on the first shot. And finally, you're going to laugh, I got the Sheraton 15-point tank as my spam unit to throw at the enemy.
I got the spam units in the Yugoslavian deck, so I won't be joking about that.
Well,
it's a good idea.
Yeah, especially
29 of them.
And with 15 points, you get 5 front armor each, so they have a chance of surviving too.
Yeah, that's actually true. I don't know, is this like... I never seen this like in World War II, actually.
I think my first saw it when I saw the front underneath the turret right there. I thought that it might have been like something from the Germans, but
I thought like no. For me, it's more like British. Maybe
yeah,
like
the developer said
Matilda
it was
or something.
Yeah, the developer said it was from a World War II British tank chassis. But yep, that's a Sheraton. What tank did you get?
Well, from your mentioning, I see that you got pretty much all of the versions of the T-72.
Yep.
Modified. My logic stays the same on this point. Heavy tank, medium cost tank, and a very, 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 very...
cheap tank.
Yes. And I cannot express how very cheap it's gonna be. Not as cheap as your chariot, but it's still cheap. So T-72 M1 mod, you could expect that as in my heavy. 70 point accuracy, I mean 21 front armor. What can you want more than this? Like,
right.
This is the best as it gets. Medium cost is gonna be T-55M Matty, 100mm gun. Also accuracy 70%, which is absolutely amazing. And I got to say, this guy almost has no chance of missing, which is absolutely great. And as the lower cost one, I didn't want to go spam, but I did get the T-55A, 35 accuracy, but again 100mm. So definitely can be also some kind of spam unit, but with 7 armor, a bigger chance of surviving than the chariot.
All right. And you just got those 3 tanks?
Yes.
Okay. Then we'll go on to the Recon tab, Finland's specialty.
All right. I can't agree more.
All right. First off, I got the must-have infantry, the Eric Kisra Jacquerie, which is basically the SAS version of Red 4 from the Recon tab. They've got they've got a nice submachine gun, powerful anti-tank RPG, and some Igla N missiles. So these are the multi-role recon squad of choice, and I got them in Super Pumas to get them to the front line a little bit quicker than normal, probably to be alongside any the CV infantry in Super Pumas I would bring.
But what I have to say is I never saw an infantry squad that has both AT weapons as well as anti-air. This special forces squadron is definitely a freaking good.
There's actually two other infantry squads that have an anti-tank and an anti-air weapon. There's the LSDR 40s from the East Germans deck, and then there's the SAS from the British deck.
Oh, I actually didn't know that SAS has the anti-air as well.
They've got Stinger missiles.
I figured they have the AT. I mean, almost every special forces squadron has the AT, but didn't know they had AA.
Yeah, they have Stinger missiles.
Yep. Okay, you can continue.
All right. Next, I got the Monkija because it's so funny. It's a guy on a dirt bike, motorized dirt bike, and it's an all-terrain vehicle. I just had to put it in my deck, even though it only has 3 strengths. It's definitely going to die, but this is going to be my spotter. I'm just testing it out for now and see how well it does. So, did you get the guy on the bike?
Yes. Almost every freaking YouTuber on the planet got it.
And then for regular infantry, I got the CCs, and I got them in just the regular XA180s. I got them because they are shock trained. They could definitely help fight on their own. They've got a pretty good, decent AT weapon, but they also have got the sniper rifle with a stabilizer. Now, how many other infantry have a stabilizer on their sniper rifles in this game? This is going to be a pretty impressive assault recon troop. So that's why I definitely had to get these guys. And then finally, I got the T55M Peon Piece, however you pronounce that. It's the Recon, very good optics tank with 70% accuracy, like from the tank tab. So these guys are definitely going to be frontline fire units, and they have medium stealth, so they can fire without being revealed.
Yeah, is that all?
That's all. I got 2 cards of the tanks.
Okay.
I like tanks.
Yeah, we figured that out in Yugoslavia. You had a freaking hell of a ton of tanks. And even here you had a lot of T-72s modified versions. Okay. For me, Eric Siakaris also must have in the BTR-60 PB. Not gonna explain much of those. Why should you get those? For the armored vehicle, I got the BMP-1 KT, just because it has a rapid firing gun and its ability to defend itself, so pretty much the same as Yugoslavia. The choice is Yugoslavian deck, also nothing to explain much. Monkia, because it's fun and it looks interesting, I had to put it.
Yep, everyone had to.
At the end, CC with the BTR-60 PB, also a must-have with that AT launcher and an actual Dragunov as a sniper rifle. And that's pretty much it.
All right, pretty cool. Let's go to the vehicles.
Yep.
And I only got one vehicle. It's the XA185 PST PSA John with the TOW-2 missiles for extra AT support, and it's amphibious. Though I was very tempted to take the Sturmy for 5 points because it's the freaking I think it's the Stug or something.
Yes, it is the Stug.
It's the Stug. All World War II fans are definitely going to want to bring this with you. And with 5 points, I would say it's worthwhile on taking, though it's going to die a lot. But I instead got the XA-185 vehicle. What did you get for your vehicles?
I got 4 vehicles.
Oh boy.
Yeah. First, same as your XA-185 Pest Pajon. Probably pronounced that in French accent somehow. Good choice, definitely. Same armor on all sides, which is interesting enough, but definitely good choice. Then I got, you guessed right, Sturmy. For freaking 24 of them as rookies, and for freaking 75mm gun, I mean, God, 5 point. This is the most spammest unit you can get in this game. Come on.
Yeah,
Really?
definitely.
For I got also the USE past Oich as faggot times 4 missile for 15 points. If you need to destroy some armored vehicles quickly, sure, why not? And for the last 10 point Terra Musty. Interesting vehicle, again, some kind of the army truck off-road with 10 recoilless rifle on it, 95mm heat rocket, so accuracy pretty good, range pretty good, so it will be fun. It will be fun to test it out, definitely.
Okay. All right. Let's go on to the helicopters then.
Yeah, helicopters.
First off, I got the HH-10, which is the TOW2 variant. So, just because it has TOW2s, you had to take it. I have figured. Then I got the MI-8T KT. It has. I chose that over the original version, mainly because it has 2 HE power rockets, which I found the higher the HE, the better the effectiveness the rockets. But also because it's got auto cannons to shoot down helicopters and at ground units, so it's a very versatile helicopter to bring into the fray in the pinch. So those are my 2 helicopters.
Well, I have nothing to say anymore because I bring the same stuff as you. HH-10, TOW2, versatile, very fast, big accuracy, stabilizer excellent, AP power excellent, and brilliant to bring as a support. MI-80 KT, of course, the autocannons, always useful. Rocket pods. I mean, over the 80 versions, definitely a bit improved, and only for 10 points. So that's my choice also.
So as for the planes, I'll go first, and I chose the Avia 28. Basically, the Finnish version of the B5 minus the sheer destructive capability of the B5, but close to it. It's got 24 HE power, unlike the 30 that the B5 that the North Koreans can bring in. And yeah, 24 HE power is still worse in my book, especially since you can bring 2 of them for 110 points each. That will just definitely provide good bombing coverage. Then afterwards, I got the J-35F for the napalm bomber, just to quickly coat an area and block a path from the enemy. The napalm's always going to be pretty good. And then finally, for air superiority, I got the F-18C, which, when I saw this as an American, it kind of hurt because the FA-18 was not designed to be an air superiority fighter. It was designed as a ground attack fighter that can defend itself if it gets engaged in the air. And just being turned into a pure air superiority fighter, I'm just like, that's not what it was designed to do. But, oh well, they had to make do with whatever inventory they had. So those are my planes.
Well, on my end, for the air superiority, I choose the MiG-21. Because I have F-18C in way too much decks, and I just wanted a little bit of variety. And MiG-29 seemed like a good idea, even though
MiG-29
it has only
or MiG-21?
Yeah, MiG-29.
MiG-29. You said MiG-21 earlier.
29.
Yeah. The only
Okay.
problem with the MiG-29 is it only has 2 missiles.
Yeah, I know that, but yeah, I mean, but for 120 points, a long range missiles you can quickly fire and then evac. I mean, he can scare off the enemy planes.
Yeah, you just have to bring in these in pairs so that they have a chance of shooting any plane down.
Because you got 4 of them as trained.
Right.
So I mean, it should be enough. I hope. I didn't test any of those.
Probably not. Anything else?
Of course. Come on, only one plane. Air anti-tank CM-170. Very funny plane. Seems like a test plane because actually Croatian military uses these planes, but of course without any rockets or
They're
guns.
training
as a
planes,
test.
right?
Yeah, training planes for the young pilots. Pretty interesting to see 2 rockets on a plane like this. Speed 600. I mean, stealth is very poor. But, I mean, it does its job.
It does?
Better than the... Oh, come on. You're gonna embarrass the Finland now? Really?
I'm just looking at the accuracy of these missiles.
Well, they can serve its purpose, come on. At
Well,
least
if they
for
hit.
scaring off.
If they hit.
Okay, so for the bomber, I got the Avia 28 for the 2 reasons. Because it looks super cool and definitely more different than any unit in the actual war game, completely different, and because of the power of its bomb.
Also, interesting enough, it has 15 strengths, unlike most aircraft that have 10, so it can take a couple extra missile hits.
Yeah, that's definitely good. And the last but not the least, actually, this I have no idea even what I'm saying anymore. I have the J35FS. This guy has like pretty much everything. 135mm rockets times 12 and Falcon times 2, and it looks super cool.
So basically, you're going to bring this in as a rocket plane, and you'll just keep strafing an area with your rockets, evac, reload.
Yeah.
All right.
And if I need some backup for the MiG-29, this guy can do some close combat with its infrared missiles.
Yeah, but those Falcons
because
are...
MiG-29 is primarily the long-range air superiority, while this is more like the close attack.
But it has even less chance of hitting with those Falcon missiles.
Well, don't judge.
Oh, I'm judging. I'm judging its flat body all the way.
I figured that out.
All right, so that is the air tab, and actually the entirety of our Finnish nation. So,
yeah.
So thanks for joining me, and thank you all for watching this quick review of the Finnish deck. And we shall try to test these decks out pretty shortly, and hope to see you all then. So thank you very much.